All right, guys, we'll see if anybody joins in. I know it's late or early, depending on who you're asking. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a conversation going. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't think I've done a live since Tuesday after the haves and the have-nots. So this will be an interesting, touching base procedure right now. So again, if there's anybody out there, hope you're doing well. And yeah, we can talk about anything right now. On the channel, oh, we got 30 people. Okay, well, on the channel, I have all my videos done. The only two I still need to do is like the Sistas versus Girlfriend season 1, and then I got a Malone video coming up. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I spent the past like day just listing nonstop Pokemon cards on eBay. So I have over 350 items on eBay right now. So trying to make this money. I heard the Opal's coming back the beginning of January. Oh, that's okay. That's great. Well, I mean, that's kind of like what I was thinking, where I felt like we'll probably get the first half of Sisters for the remainder of 2020, and then the Oval will come back next year. Because to be honest, I don't really see a need for both shows to be on at the same time. Hey, I see we got more people joining in. I'm doing well. I got a question for you all because this is a serious one. Has anybody else heard about Walmart apparently starting their Black Friday sale today at 7 p.m.? Because I've been reading about it, but it hasn't been in like the mainstream media, at least to my knowledge. A couple friends shared around article about it, but apparently between October 11th at 7 p.m. and October 15th, it's like a big Black Friday sale, which is supposed to overlap and compete with the Amazon Prime Day, which I think is the 13th and the 14th. And it's been rainy here in my area of Virginia today. Well, Saturday, Sunday, it's supposed to be raining Monday. I'm not trying to be out in Black Friday crowd. Trust and believe, I'm interested in it, but I want to see some ads. I think it's supposed to be online as well as in store. So I'm not 100% sure. It is in North Carolina. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it is. It just hasn't been promoted. Oh, just rain. Yeah, and also if anybody's down south, I'm praying for y'all that hurricane. I saw a couple videos. I'm like, 2020 just ain't letting up. Because I know, what is it? Apparently, Best Buy and Target are supposed to be having sales this week as well. I have not heard about it yet. Yeah, like I said, if my friend didn't share that article, I wouldn't have heard about it. But like I said, I haven't seen a sales paper. I'm probably just going to look online tonight. And if I wake up early, let's say, Monday, Tuesday, I'll go in the morning. Hey, from Florida. Hey, Susan. I know these live streams are never scheduled. I just do them at random and see if anybody comes on. Nothing happened in Alabama yet. Okay, okay. It's hard to believe that, what is it? This week is like the midway point of the month. We're probably getting it first. Yeah, because they said it's 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Walmart. I mean, excuse me, 7 p.m. Eastern. But like I said, I'm not trying to fight crowds for TV. I don't even want that. Hey, how's it going? Good morning. Yeah, technically it is morning. Like I said, if I wake up early Monday or Tuesday, I'll go, but I'm probably just going to search online. Plus, I want to see what Amazon has, because you know me, I'm just like shopping for stuff to put online and resell, but I got a lot of stuff already to sell. And plus, I don't get paid until the 21st. I'm not trying to dip into my savings account. And I need to go to the dentist. Then, what was it? A couple weeks ago, I bought my new computer and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm not trying to blow a lot of money. But yeah, the Derek interview, the Keith Burke interview, that's doing very well. I think it only needs about 500 more views, and it'll be the biggest interview I've done so far. I think Desiree Ross from Greenleaf, that's still my biggest interview with 3.3 thousand views, which I still regret not doing a video interview. I'm trying to save money for a new car. The interview was good. Yeah, that was my favorite one so far. Hey, is anybody on here familiar with Comedy Hype and Vlad TV, like two YouTube channels that are kind of, built for interview formats? Does anybody know about, again, Vlad TV and Comedy Hype? Yeah. See, I was talking with a friend of mine from college. I did a Zoom interview for his podcast that he's going to be kicking up soon. And we were talking last night, and I was like, I didn't think about it, but I'm like, you know what I should have done? I should have like chopped the interview up into sections, kind of like the Vlad TV and Comedy Hype, where you'll get kind of like different parts of an interview, and then eventually you get the full interview, because that would allow for more content. And at the same time, there'll be specific parts you can watch, like, okay, this video is how Keith Burke worked on the Haves and the Have Nots. This video is how Keith Burke met Will Smith and James Avery. So I might start doing that in the near future. That's something that I wish well, thankfully I've only just started doing interviews, so yeah, guys, if you could like the video, that would be great. Just give it a thumbs up. But yeah, plus the Jason David History in the Mix interview. You should get the guest speak more. You should let the guest You should let the guest speak more than you do. You can get. Honestly, I think it was pretty balanced. I mean, again, I'm not trying to sound biased, but I feel like the reason the Keith Burke interview flowed the way it did was because I think he said it in an interview, like, he read my questions, he prepared for this interview, where he would answer a lot of the questions in like one go. So that's why the interview wasn't as structured as my other one. So I'm like, well, because like within the first few minutes, I'm thinking, dang, he's ran through like 3 of the 6 questions already. And yeah. Plus, I didn't even feel like it was an interview. I thought it was a great conversation. I would like for you to do an interview with Gail. I'm not saying I would love to do that, but nope, you did a live explaining your premises. Yeah, well, you see, Kevin, the thing about it is, Keith and I have been talking for like 2 years. And typically, when we have those conversations, it's pretty much a back and forth about insight on the show. Because there are parts of these interviews that I don't post, because typically when I'm interviewing somebody, we have a conversation before I hit record, and then we have a conversation after I hit stop. So typically when they give a response, most of these people don't know the shows as well as us fans do. So whenever they bring up a topic, I got to set the stage. Hence why when I talked about like David and Benny, Keith Burke wasn't aware of the fact that Benny was in a coma, and then Benny's persona now isn't like how it was early on in the show. Plus, like I said in the intro, I believe the only reason the interview ended when it did was because his battery was dying. It was like at 5%. I'm like, dang. Like, it was a great conversation. It really was. That was my favorite. Let's see. Yeah, the Sistas trailer was pretty good. I probably got like maybe 2 or 3 little mini videos to do. I saw that. I still enjoyed it all though. Yeah, like I said, it was my favorite. Like, there were so many moments in that interview. I was like, I'm not lying. I was legitimately shocked. Like when Keith showed me that he had a lion tattoo, did not see that coming. His stories about Will Smith, did not see that coming. That was something we've never talked about, because typically our conversations dealt with only the haves and the have-nots. And like he was telling me, because we've been talking ever since the interview posted, and he was thanking me for the opportunity to do the interview, but also because he learned a lot more about me. Because honestly, there was a lot that I didn't, I've never told him before, like in regards to how I got my channel started and the eBay stuff. Have you thought about ranking Tyler Perry shows? Yes, I have. I have not thought about doing it anytime soon. I'm really trying to wait until Bruh and Ruthless finish up their season 1s, but dang, I wish Ruthless would come on sometime soon. Hang on, I'm pulling up my channel right now to kind of like look at my list of videos here. Um, yeah, like I said, House of Pain was actually pretty decent last week. Assisted living is getting there, but the problem is, it's like when half of your season is trash and it takes until like episode 11 for it to get halfway decent, that's a problem. I still, for the life of me, have no idea why the kiss between Miranda and Calvin has never been brought up. The Oval is Tyler Perry's best show. That's debatable. Yeah, what's the question? Go ahead and ask. It's the perfect time. Yeah, when I saw that article about Lance Gross having to fight Tyler Perry about the beard, come on now. It really is, but it's a drag. It's iffy. The reason being is because I don't like the way they handle the characters because there's so many of them. I feel like that's something that drags it down for me. I will say that the Oval has one of the most shock factor. Well, it's the show that probably has the most shock factors right now, where you have to watch the next episode to find out what happens. So I will give the Oval that. Ooh. And yeah, like I said on Tuesday night when somebody mentioned in the live stream, I I didn't even notice Candace wasn't in the episode of the Haves and the Have-Nots. I literally did not notice at all. We only got 3 episodes left. I pray it gets better. Would you do an old Tyler Perry movies review? Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. That's on my list. I'm not going to say when because I'm not going to promise something and then I'm not going to do it when I say I do it. But I wouldn't be against doing that, reviewing the movies or maybe even the plays. Yeah, like I said, Bruh isn't perfect, but it's actually one of the better shows. Yeah, Kevin, I agree. When I was episode 11, like I said, it's not like I'm a super Christian where profanity and vulgar language is horrible. I just feel like it's really forced and it's unnecessary, and half the time it really isn't even that funny. Like the back and forth between Brown is actually pretty good, but at the same time I feel like that forced vulgarness brings it down because it just doesn't fit. It's almost like this is almost like if you took Bugs Bunny and put him in a Family Guy episode. And when I say Bugs Bunny, I mean like if you literally take like take take Elmo from Sesame Street and put him in an episode of Family Guy. I don't mean a Family Guy parody. I mean like take Elmo from the kid Sesame Street and put him in an episode of Family Guy, and he feels extremely out of place. That's how I feel about Brown and Cora in a show like Assisted Living when you have a character like Vinny. Because like I said, Jeremy and Leah, their chemistry is pretty good. For the most part, the cast itself is good. Just the content is not. Okay, chats are actually coming in pretty quickly now. Let me pull up the live stream on my computer real quick, and I can read the chats. Okay. Would you do a review of one of his plays? Maybe. Bruh is way too short for the content they show week to week. They make the show now. They don't need to make the show an hour long. I think what they need to do is at least put 2 to 3 episodes a week because with the show, here's the thing: when there's only 1 episode a week and the episode drags, it shows. Hence why I said episode 17, 18, and oh boy, 19 were not great at all. I mean, to have 3 weeks of dry episodes, that's bad. It would be different if all 3 episodes came on in one day. Lamont, Ruthless is the best show that he's put out at the time of this live stream. I mean, to me, I mean, now it's a bit out there though. It's a different vibe than the other stuff, but Ruthless is the best. And it's only aired the first half of season 1. I've only seen 2 episodes that were kind of not horrible, but they fell into that filler territory. Yeah, you just got BET Plus. Yeah, I'd highly recommend Ruthless for real. Like I said, the timeline does feel kind of jacked up. Tally should be dead, but oh well. When the sun go down, down there in the city. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I missed a couple chats. Let me scroll up. The Oval or Sisters? Which one is more entertaining? I think that I think hey, I got to think about that. Give me a second. And remember, if I miss your chats, I'm going to pull them right up on my computer. I think the Oval has more of a, oh, I got to tune in the next week to see what happens. But I do feel like it's more frustrating because I feel like there's so much that they're not doing because they have too many characters. I think Sisters got better. Yeah, like I said, during that second half of season one, I don't know what happened, but Sisters definitely got way better. But the Oval, it has a lot of shock value. But I think maybe because I communicate more with the Sisters cast that I really like it. Yeah, Ruthless doesn't have that repetitive dialogue, except for those one or two episodes. I prefer Lisa from Sistas because whenever Lisa says something, it hits. Alice has her moments, but I do feel like sometimes it just drags on with her being extra vulgar for no reason at all. Yeah, the Oval has a lot going on. I don't think the Oval uses its time effectively. Yeah, the Oval has a good theme song. They ended season one. I mean, after season one, OWN decided to let it go. It's sad because Ambitions was one of the better shows. Yeah, the Bill thing on Bruh is ridiculous. Yeah, and Alice and the other need Jesus. What's her name? Laura or Lisa? I forgot her name. Or Lauren. Bill is way worse than Mike. I um Yeah, I agree. Do you think Bill and Regina belong together? Absolutely not. I completely understand devaluing something when you have it, but I don't like how Bill has been written. His actor is so what's his name, Monty. He is so cool. He is so cool. He talks to me on Instagram from time to time. Again, no shade to the actor, but I don't think the character of Bill was written well at all. Um, it it's so unrealistic. Like, don't get me wrong, there are crazy people out there, but he's completely in denial. It's like I said on my video. Tom is the only one who I feel was well written as a character. I mean, Mike, he's an asshole, but I think they're writing him to be way too childish and territorial. I don't dislike John either. I did disagree with a few writing choices in the early episodes, but yeah, I think John's cool. John ain't the finest, but his personality makes up for it. Bill needs to let it go. He blew it. He tried. She chose. Yeah. Justin or Eddie, who's worse? Eddie. I want an episode of Bruh where Charlie meets Alice. Same here. Mate, well, we only got, what is it, 4 episodes, 4 or 5 episodes left. Alice needs to stop. Yeah, she's funny, but then sometimes it's like, you don't need to throw in your you know what in every conversation. But I get it, when you're older, you just say whatever you want, but sometimes you just need a filter because I feel like if Alice and Vinny were in the same room, come on now. Season 2 was filmed in 5 days. Yeah, I know. Marcy or Darcy? I'd probably choose Darcy because Marcy, she killed someone. Okay, it was self-defense, but I still don't like how they ended it where her and Brad let Alex take the fall. So I think that's stupid. Not much. We're just kind of catching up. Nothing much. Peppa, but only if Alex doesn't accuse me of assaulting her when she sobers up. Hey, has anybody watched that movie on Netflix, Enola Holmes? It's like a Sherlock Holmes movie. Mike and Pam or no, not yet. I might watch it today. I don't know. 'Cause I thought it was like a Netflix series, but apparently it's been getting good reviews. Someone once said Marcy was like Jeffrey. They're sweet, but when they get pushed too far, it's bad. That's a good comparison. Mike and Pam are annoying. They both playing games. Mike is whipped. I don't know what. Well, then again, that's what. Look, as the guy who was the well, and again, I'm not trying to put myself down or fish for compliments, but I was never like the best looking guy out of my friend group. I was like the shortest. I wasn't the muscular one. That kind of stuff. So the girls always go for my friends. You know, they're the ones who marry like 3 out of 5 times. You know, looking back, my friend married someone I had a crush on, but they chose them instead. So I feel like Mike is that good-looking womanizer who can just get away with everything because the way that he and Pam interact makes no sense whatsoever. Like, what woman would put up with a man that acts the way he does? And to be completely honest, I do think that Mike does have a semi-abusive side just by the way he acts when he's had a few too many drinks. So that's something to really think about. Benny's just stupid. Him and Alice would give me anxiety. I think he's referring to Veronica and the actor who portrays Veronica. Angela's a sweetheart. She really is. I hope we get another Jim and Veronica scene if he ever gets out of the hospital. Well, then again, she did go to the hospital to serve him the papers for the child support. I mean, I feel like Uncle Joe is far more entertaining than Uncle Curtis is in season 9. I don't think Alice and that stripper got anything going on now. Man, do you know when the Oval and Ruthless? Nope, no clue. Yeah, he does act reckless for attorney. I feel like they were leading to Ella and Curtis getting divorced. I honestly didn't care. I didn't. I mean, episode 11 was halfway decent. I don't know if it's going to get better though, but I thought episode 11 was the first halfway decent episode. I'm surprised Pam's date didn't beat the hell out of Mike. To, I mean, this is ridiculous. It really is. It's like I said, Lamont. Even if you bring back like a bunch of the old characters, I don't think I'd want them back if we're still going to get this same style of bad writing. No, no. It's like I said before. Even if the next 3 episodes of the Haves and the Have-Nots are the best ones in the entirety of the series, which I highly doubt, I would still grade this the worst season ever, because it's like a math test. If you get like 25 questions and you get 22 of them wrong, but you get 3 of them right, you still fail. That's how I grade these episodes and seasons. It's like an episode could have like the best 10-minute ending, but if the other 30 minutes were trash, then it's still going to be like a 4 out of 10 or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that when it comes down to it, season 7 of the Haves and the Have-Nots at this point in time is probably going to be my least favorite season of all. I have no idea. William was supposed to be in last week's episode, so I don't know. Hey, Miss B Washington, what's up? Assisted living, I can't watch it unbearably. Oh yeah, I think somebody said in the chat that the last scene of assisted living was too quick. I agree. You talk about like sex trafficking and a child abduction, but you make it like the last 30 seconds of the episode, and I'm like, that's heavy stuff. But I mean, that's not enough to save the episode for me. Didn't really watch For Better or Worse, so I can't chime in on Angela and Marcus. right? This whole season of the have and have nots has been trash. Sad to say, but I agree. When are they doing Jeffrey Owens' character? I mean, he was in a recent episode. The whole Charles thing, I could do about it. For real, I could. No, I don't want to think about him reviving the Pains. For real. I mean, just tell your mom, hey, mom, 15 new characters have been added. The main characters are still doing nothing. And that's it. I mean, the trailer for this week's episode looks pretty damn good, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I ain't gonna lie. This is the first trailer in a while where I'm like, "Oh snap, what's going to happen?" But the boy on assisted living was too grown, and the daughter. What do you mean? He could revive too close to home or start it over. I don't think there's a need for that because you got the Oval. No, I said, what are they doing with Jeffrey Owens' character? It seems pointless. I mean, they haven't done much with him. He's just kind of there now. Apparently, he's rooting for Candace and Charles. They don't need to be in the show. Yeah, that's the one thing. And I don't think they're bad actors. I don't think they're bad actors. But I think what Tyler Perry does is he constantly writes like young people to be these tech savvy, annoying millennials who don't like when the older characters put them in an environment they don't want to be in, or they don't understand the way kids are today. So I feel like it's a annoying TV trope. So to be completely honest, while I don't think the kids are annoying or bad actors, I honestly don't think they need to be in the show. I mean, at least with Brianna and Joaquin, they had like friends. They had interesting story arcs. So, yeah. My mom has not watched an episode. Ever since it came back in August, she has not watched an episode. Sandra's too rude and is too much, can be rude. Exactly. The cringy parts that Tyler Perry make it. That's the thing. I feel like he could write. We've seen him write characters. Yeah, Brianna and her brother, even Malik and Jasmine from House of Pain back in the TBS days. So that's what makes me upset when he writes these kind of things. It's like we know he's fully capable of writing competent and not so annoying young characters, but he just writes them as caricatures. Hence why I say Young Dylan is a good show. It is not a great show, but I would rather watch Young Dylan than House of Pain and Assisted Living. It was 2011? Oh. Okay, that's funny. Even Benny and Candace are better siblings. I'm not going to argue with you there. That's a very good point. Who is the best couple Tyler Perry created? Okay, let me think about that. Are we talking about everything, movies? Well, I don't even want to count plays because they're too short. That's a good question. Hang on. I'm literally trying to think. What is the best Tyler Perry couple? That's a hard one to tell because you got to think about it. Some of the couples are already married when the show first starts. And then others, it's like their journey is to get together. Danny and Preston. I think they're a bit too new to be in the running, in my opinion. I would say Curtis and Ella, but no. I want to say Curtis and Ella, but no. They regress so much. No. Honestly, I think CJ and Janine might be my favorite. Now, Jeremy and Leah, that's too soon. The reason I think CJ and Janine are the best is because they had arcs. They had growth. They went through some stuff and they're still together. Yeah, they got divorced, but they got remarried. I think CJ and Janine is the one I would pick off the top of my head. And I did do some thinking. And remember, I didn't see For Better or Worse. And yeah, so I think CJ and Janine is probably the best couple. China and Eric. Again, the movies are I think those are just who's the worst couple. There's not enough time in the day. I would probably say Veronica and David, but at the same time, you got to look at like Quincy and Candace. I will say this much: if Derek and Hannah get back together, I dare say that Derek and Hannah could possibly compete with CJ and Janine. But that'll be his whole thing. That'll be another thing. I would say Victoria and Hunter. Meh, I don't know. What's his name? Caleb? No, he hasn't been on there yet. I agree. It feels like they're just reading off a script. I feel like now more than ever, Tyler Perry's just letting them ad lib. I saw like this meme of like a guy just kind of sitting back in the chair. I bet like, and it said like, I bet Tyler Perry in the studio would be like, just do what comes naturally. I like Derek and Hannah too. I think Meet the Browns is the #1 TV show Tyler Perry created until this now. It's a good show. I think it aged very well. That's why I'm glad Assisted Living isn't, as far as I know, connected to Meet the Browns, because Meet the Browns was good. So was House of Pain, but I feel like House of Pain season 9 is on the record now. It's like the last season of Game of Thrones or The Office. It's on the record. So Veronica and David, so they worse. Oh yeah, they are worse than Jim and Catherine. At least Jim and Catherine know how to put aside their differences when it comes down to it. Yeah, I know he's on P Valley. I just never seen it. I don't think Medea's needed on Assisted Living. It would be interesting, but it doesn't need. She doesn't need to be on there. I had to pimp slap that bitch. Exactly. Jim has never laid a finger on Catherine. He's a doctor, and when you got that kind of money, I feel like Tom is like the most unbothered character. I don't know why she was never on Meet the Browns. I never thought about it. Do you need to come on there to get J. Anthony Brown in order? I mean, like, whether or not he's the father, of course, probably the only thing I'm halfway interested in the show. So, sorry, stretch my arm. Boom, 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 boom. Let me tell you about the facts. Oh, Cora calls Mr. Brown by his name instead of Dad. Yeah. Yeah, Meet the Browns is a spinoff. Jim and Catherine in their own crazy way still a little love. I agree. Yeah, I've always said that. I agree, Marcus. These shows now are just leaving a stain on his legacy. Especially, I, I feel what really makes these shows look even worse is the fact, like, this time last year. Let's go, guys. Let's get in the time machine. Let's go back to 2019. I feel like a lot of us really do want to go back to 2019 right now. October 11th, 2019. Tyler Perry has turned 50. He's gotten the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's had the biggest, like, grand studio gala opening. It's a who's who in black entertainment. We're in anticipation of the Oval and Sistas. Okay? Tyler Perry's he's on a high right now. You can't touch him. So then to have shows come out that are so poorly received because of the quality. It's sad. It really is sad. That's why I feel. And then at the top of 2020 in January, right around the time A Fall from Grace came on Netflix, when he posted that video where he had that mountain of scripts for like over half a dozen different shows. You know, a lot of other people have a writer's room, all this by myself, hard work. And I'm like, I knew it. Because I'll say this, I have a white friends who, I say white friends because they don't really watch a lot of Tyler Perry stuff, but they know I review it. And they're like, yo, Jeremy, did you see this video? You're going to have a lot of content to review. I straight up told them, guys, like, that looks impressive, but it's probably not going to be great. And I was right, because they are not great. Oh, hang on. He got his own studio now. He don't give a damn no more. Then he sets on Sisters. Then the sets on Sisters and the Oval look cheap. They should be shot with better camera. Yeah, those scripts, man, I swear. Though that was supposed to be like a flex, but it was not received well at all. That's why I think somebody left a comment on one of my videos recently. Hang on, let me see which one it was. If Kevin is still in the chat, it was on the video I did about is season 2 of Sisters under a lot of pressure to succeed. He was like, I wonder what it would be like to have the endorsement and support of Tyler Perry Studios. I could see your channel and you being their interview and review correspondent. Keep pushing out those videos. After all, dreams really do become reality. And I'm like, thanks, but sometimes I think about that. And I also think about the fact that on my channel, I speak the truth. I talk about how I really feel about these shows rather than sugarcoating and saying, oh, everything is amazing. So sometimes I think about that, but then I've gotten over that. Like, that was like maybe 6 months to a year ago when I wanted to get Tyler Perry's attention, but I don't care. Too bad his employees haven't told him about you. They probably have. Oh, hey, Kevin, you still here? It's like they probably have. I don't care. I remember there was a time where I wanted his attention because when I found out that Ashley Miller got to go out and hang out with Tyler Perry and whatnot at like this big party, I was like, I want to be that. I want that to be me. I got past that. Like, I'm like, I'm almost at 100K. I've had great communication, relationships with these cast members. Now I'm talking to them in interviews. To me, this is great. And then plus I got my award for 100K. I don't need it. I mean, if he decides to hit me up, that would be great, but I don't even want it at this point. If it happens, if not, I'm okay, because I can honestly say Tyler Perry has changed my life. Do you think John and Charlie be a good couple? It depends. I mean, we only got the one scene. They are talking to him about you. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and say that they are because I don't know. Sorry, I was responding to a chat. Let me go ahead and look at these. I like Ashley Miller reviews. Yeah, she has a very diverse channel. She has a very diverse channel. I applaud her for that because she covers so many topics. Tyler has too many shows now, and none are high quality. Less is more. I agree. I like the TV show, bruh. The writing sucks, but I'm hoping it gets better. It has its lows and its highs. Someone said, why haven't any of the actors ever said anything before? I'm going to be honest here. When I talk to these people, I don't say, hey, tell Tyler about me. I don't. It's like, if they want to tell them about me, that's great. If they don't, I'm not going to press on them for it. I'm honored that they want to talk to me regardless, you know? So that's all I got to say. What review channels do you watch? A lot that have to do with like superhero shows, like the CW shows, sometimes books, comic, especially like Comic Storian, Dope Spill Comics, Comics Explain, anime stuff. Because to me, remember, I watch YouTube too, you know? Like, I don't watch too many other people's reviews on shows I review unless I really want their opinion, because sometimes they might see something that I don't. You I think Meet the Browns. Oh, sorry. I think Meet the Browns #1 show that Tyler Perry created. These shows need to be shot with a better everything. Yeah, he needs at least proofreaders for the scripts. Someone said, oh, hang on a sec. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading some of these chats again. I'm sorry. Will Andy and Jasmine get along this season? I don't know. Does anybody know where Tyler Perry... Whoa, back up, back up. Tyler Perry fired Tyler Lepley? Could you tell me where you're getting this information from? It would be crazy if Tyler was on here. Tyler didn't fire Benny. Would you be on a Tyler Perry show like Bruh with the script? Like, imagine you playing Bill on Bruh, but you would take the role. Yes. Some are probably scared or nervous too, probably. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't care. They talk about it, they talk. If not, I got a great fan base. I talk with a lot of the cast. That's amazing. Have you had a, no, hey, D. Any interview I've had is on the channel. I have not had an interview with Peter Parros yet. Thanks for holding the fort. Okay, hey, Terry. I look forward to your videos about where he is going with storylines. You have better ideas than Tyler, just my opinion. I appreciate that. I'm good. Hot here in Cali. Yeah, it's been raining here. Alice to Charlie, you probably want to date my son. You actually want to date my son? Yeah, that would be an awkward scene. Like, at the moment, there are no new interviews on the books yet. Bella True from Ambitions, Erica Page, we keep clashing on the schedules. Like, anytime she's available, something comes up. But that's the next one in line. Did you like the interview I did with Jason David from History in the Mix? Like I said, that was a good one because that's one of the channels I watch. You know, like that's one of my channels I like to watch, and I've been thanks to him, I've been watching other Michael Jackson YouTubers, and I enjoy their content. MJ Fangirl TV, I've heard of her. I like her content. I like her energy. So that might be something I'm trying to do, like where I get other YouTubers that I watch to do interviews with me. That would be great. Yeah, the Derek one, that's been my favorite interview so far. Try to interview Ella or interview Alice or Nancy would be great to see. Maybe. That's honestly. What's your dream interview? Tyler Perry. Believe it or not, I think Tyler Perry will be the most interesting interview yet. But if not him, I would probably say either Angela Robinson, Veronica, or Peter Parros, just to have a David showdown. Just because I want to see face to face, pun intended, if my David really comes close to his. Yeah, the rain is really, it's coming down. I know later today well, no, I could check the weather at home to see they're flooding. You think Sisters and Bros together? I did an entire video talking about crossover potential. Thanks, Lamont, for getting that trolled comment. Assisted Living was actually watchable. Wins. It was okay. Yeah, season 3 was not a good season for. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, Kevin, I really was trying to maintain like a non-fanboy thing. Like as soon as he was like Will Smith, I'm like, snap. Like he just dropped Will Smith, and I'm like, yo, like there's so many. And no, I wasn't like I want to ask about the entanglement. No, 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 no. To know Will Smith during the Fresh Prince, well, even before like the big where he got big. Remember, like the Fresh Prince music, and then the show and everything. Yeah, Lamont, I hid that user that way the messages won't come up. Excuse me, ain't got time. It does. It does. You really sound like David. Very funny. Yeah, I hope I get him on an interview someday. Yeah. Yeah, but Kevin, for real, like the interview, I think you were the one who mentioned, again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think it was you in the chat earlier that said that I would need to let the interviewer talk more than me. But it's like you have to understand this conversation went in so many different directions. Like whenever I do an interview, I send the questions, and I'm not calling you out, but just to give people the insight, like the Derek interview and why it was probably my favorite so far. Whenever I schedule an interview, I have the questions lined up and I send them to the person a couple of days in advance. And then when we get on the Zoom, we have like a pre-interview talk, just get warmed up. Then I hit record and we do the actual interview. Then I stop it and then we talk a little more and then that's it. Then we chat, back and forth on social media after that. So with the Derek interview, the reason it had a different flow to it is because Keith, he's like, hey, I memorized the questions and I want to make sure I hit everything. So to be completely honest, if he didn't talk about like the Will Smith, the James Avery, and things like that, the interview would have been much shorter. But because he answered a lot of the questions, because if you notice, there were long sets where I would talk, then there would be long sets where he would talk. He answered a lot of the questions I had in one, like one piece of the interview. So that's why the interview felt like it was going in different directions. And I was literally fanboying out and shocked when he got to certain things. Yeah, my mom tells me Saints and Sinners, I need to review that. Hope something major will happen on the haves and the have-nots. It needs to. Do we even need a House of Pain and assisted living crossover? I don't think so. I'm a good friend, but I'm a better enemy. Some of the employees seem fake because his problem is being around with too many yes men. I know they are getting paid, but it's really too much of a suggest. I agree, Marcus. I agree. That's why I feel like if I never got contacted by Tyler Perry because I'm honest in my videos, I wouldn't really care because of the fact like I'm a fan and I'm going to tell it like it is. I record the audio on Audacity and I edit the videos on Windows Movie Maker. Assisted living is boring. Yeah, we don't need a crossover. Somebody said the actors look like they don't care anymore. I kind of get that vibe too. See, here's the thing. Like when Keith told that story about his first scene as Derek. Yeah, remember, if you remember in the interview where he's like, he pulled me, he's like, hold, and then he pulled me to the side. He's like, hey, look, Derek's a good guy, just like you are. Those moments like that, I'm thinking to myself, that's the Tyler Perry I love to hear about. Like he could have tore me down in that moment, but he decided to help build me up. That's the Tyler Perry I like. Hearing that kind of stuff. The writing drives me nuts, and like we're really on pandemic, right? Oh God. And the thing is, like during this pandemic, like there's so much Tyler content, but how much of it is really good? Does Victoria and the Oval have brothers and sisters? Yeah, she said that in one of the episodes. Except she was like born out of an affair. Jeremy, don't let Veronica fool you. She's a simple bitch. The highest. When the sun goes down, down. You think it'll be another Medea movie? Yeah, there'll be another movie or play. He's not going to retire her forever. I still wonder who killed the twin. Yeah. The twin? I don't know. I haven't thought about the oval in a while, just because we don't even know when it's coming back. Oh, God, whoever that last lady. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta be, yeah, ruthless will tear you up. You think should have his own movie? Not his own movie, but as long as he has some good characters around him to like help carry it along, I think he could have it.
But Carrie,
You can just tell the show doesn't have good material. I think they are good actors, they just don't have good material to reflect it. We don't really get enough for Victoria and Hunter scenes for me to answer that question, to be honest. Yeah, if Joe was on assisted living, that would be interesting. You could be like, Medea, put me in a home. Yeah, the energy you can tell. Like, how many of these shows it feels like they're in dress rehearsal instead of actually filming the real episode? Like when Keith said like all of his scenes were shot in one take. I believe it because he has good acting, and I'm not saying that because I know the guy. I'm saying that because his acting is on point. Oh, I didn't know this Christmas was on Netflix. Hey. Almost. No, it's this Christmas. Monique was the best part about Almost Christmas. Well, I pick out one episode when the whole season's right there. No, I think like his camera work and everything, I think is top notch. It's like, but none of it's really the content. Oh, it's rainy on the West Coast too. Dang. I think it's like 24 or 25. I forgot the exact amount for assisted living and have nots. Yeah, y'all need the rain out there. A little. Where'd you find the family tree? Is it online on a website or something? I might do a video on that. Yeah, Google. Okay, thank you. Hang on, let me jot that down. Bam, it's cousin. It's on Wikipedia. Okay, thanks. It's gonna be a busy week, man. Yeah, I did watch the Breakfast Club interview. I think around season 5, where the haves and the have-nots kind of wavered. Bam is the cousin of Joe and Medea. Okay. Better late than never. I never watched Night School. I'm going to be honest here. I don't even know when or if they're going to film season 9 because at one point it seemed like they really were going to do it, but I haven't heard anything concrete. Honestly, I don't even know what's on my Xfinity package. I rarely stream anything. You watch Family Reunion on Netflix? I haven't had time yet. I don't. That's a good question. Like, will Jeffrey jump in front of the gun? Will he try to wrestle it away from Veronica? Don't make a woman take off her earrings. You know you should never run around a pool. I don't like guns or blood, so yeah, I'd probably cover my eyes or something. Yeah, for real. Like, I love the haves and the have-nots. It changed my life. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without it, but I think it needs to end for real. Veronica's freaking out that someone is after her. Yeah, who knows how many guns she has? Well, I mean, their scenes were pretty one note, like Hunter ignoring Victoria, and that's about it. I don't really know of any particular movie I would want a sequel to. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't have it on DVD. Jim just trying to get out of get taken out of the hospital. Toxic is such a strong word to use on the haves and have-nots because a lot of the characters are way too repetitive. I mean, let's be real. It's like I said before when it comes to like musical artists, for example. Once you reach a certain height of fame and you have more than enough money than you can ever spend unless you're really stupid, you're not always going to put out that same level of content that you were when you were hungry. Like when you were hungry for that success because the fact that Tyler's like body of work from the early years way better than the stuff he's putting out now. It says a lot. So at the end of the day, like I said, he's a billionaire. He has a brand new mansion that's almost finished. He's done a lot for, others, giving opportunities, giving money. But at the same time, in terms of the content output, not that great. Drake is alright. I'm not like a big Drake fan. You didn't you look, you missed 6 episodes. You have not missed anything. I don't really see why they need to come on there or assist the living. right, anything else before we close shop? This was a good discussion. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this unscripted, random. I mean, he mentioned this prequel series, but I don't know if we're going to get it. This random live stream. Hope everyone has a great night. And make sure you like the video before you go. Check out the other videos I posted over the past 48 hours. And I will talk to you all soon. Later.